Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, we will have a step to run the RTA project following the previous video. In the last video, we even learned how to do static code integration. And this video is the next step, the static code modification. There is also how to modify the .cmm file for Flash. If it's done, I'll flash the built file on the actual EV board using T32. Okay, then, let's get started. If you followed the previous video well, you can proceed as follows. First, I need the wdg.h file. Please make the file as follows. Please pause the video for a moment and create a file with the code. Next, you must create a stubs.c, stubs.h file. Since we don't use SMU module, we annotated it as follows. There are startup hook, root_start, error hook, shutdown hook, etc. that ECU boot requires. There is also a GPT_CBK_ notification function to run ISR to see the actual tasks. And there are init functions for various modules. Please stop the video and take your time to look at the code. If it is difficult to enter a long code like the stubs.c file, please refer to the document we wrote. Stubs.h is shown in the following screen. Next, you must create a mcufunc.h, mcufunc.c file. mcufunc.h is look like this. And mcufunc.c file introduce about clock initialization function. So far, you have created the user codes you need for your project. The next step is to modify the static code. In RTA project, only one core must be used and ECUM_init must be run on that core. Therefore, go into the CPU0_main.c file and modify core0_main as follows. The code is also included in the RTA reference note, please refer to it. The following tasks require modification due to overlapping and used parts of ifx_os.h with those defined in OS code. Enter ifx_os.h and remove all already duplicate defined parts. Clear all but the part that defines ifx_os_h and the part that includes the header file. Add #include os.h part. Like this. Next, the use of cores and the PSW value should be changed in SSW. So let's make the macro definition different in the ifx_ssw.h file. Change the value to 0 for all except tricore 0 part. If another core is active, you may end up in an infinite loop in another CPUX_main. Also, change the ifx_crg_ssw_psw_ default value below. Check the SSW usage and if it does not match when comparing PSW and register value, it will fall into shutdown hook. If you're done, let's annotate the unused WDG part. Go to the ifx_ssw_tc0.c file and check the __core0_start function code. The safe tywage and puge parts are annotated there. If this is executed, it will cause a problem that the task cannot be executed due to the WDG problem and will be reset. Next, we will correct where ISR needs to be defined. In IRQ.h, modify the part that defines ISR, X, as follows. ISR settings for the task execution. Now, I'm going to put the undefined part of memmap.h. Please enter the code as shown in the file can_17_mcm can_memmap.h. The cm shown in the video is wrong. Please change it to cin. Next, go to f_17_gfmac_memmap.h. You can add the code as follows in that part. Here are some corrections that need to be made to catch shutdowns that occur because you are not currently using Ethernet. Enter the file ftrcv_cbk.h and annotate ftrcv_write/readme indication. And it goes into the file f_17_gfmac.c, which uses the function, and annotates it. Annotation process for the two parts is performed as shown in the following screen. Find and erase the parts that correspond to ftrcv_write_me indication and ftrcv_read_me indication respectively. Then, let's build a file. To run the build.bat file, run cmake on the terminal with build.bat, out.txt to run the compile. If you enter the compile process as follows, you can see the status in out.txt. Note that it can take about 10 minutes. Let's check it out.txt if it's over after a while. It can be confirmed that the computer and linker operate normally as follows. The resulting .elf file is displayed in /build/output folder. Now let's look at the .cmm file and run .bat file for Flash. You will see the file debug/tc39x.cmm. So we need the following CMM file for Flash that fits the target. Browse to the /t32 /demo/tricore/flash path and replace the file corresponding to tc39x with the existing one. You can move the file as follows. In the run.bat file, you must first set the path where t32 is installed. And put the imported .cmm file as follows and use it for Flash. Now the next step is to take the generated .elf file and flash it to the EV board to see if it works well. Navigate to the project name you created in CMD and run the run.bat file in /debug. After running, press TC397XX to proceed with the flash. Once the flash is complete, you can display the window you want to check. Basically, I will make breakpoint in ecom, BSWM to see if the boot process is going on. And for ASW and BSW task execution, breakpoints are created respectively. If you run it afterwards, you will get broken first from ECUM_init and then BSWM_init so you can see that the boot is good. After that, you can see that the break will operate whenever you run ASW and BSW tasks respectively, which means that the task will continue to run. If there's anything else you want to check, I recommend you to check it out yourself. Clear all breakpoints and operate once. The running state continues as shown in the bottom right. Thank you for watching my video.